Meta, the company behind Facebook and Instagram, has announced a new version of its assistant tool. It uses artificial intelligence. The tech giant says it will offer the most intelligent AI assistant that people can freely use. Meta AI is available on WhatsApp, Instagram, and Facebook. You can use it to generate a picture or a poem based on a particular prompt. It's the latest chatbot to be launched in a field that's dominated by OpenAI's ChatGPT. But unlike competitors, it's a free tool that is integrated into apps that people already use. Joining us now is Ritesh Kotak in Toronto. Ritesh is a cybersecurity and technology analyst. Ritesh, thank you so much for making time for us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, I have to admit, when I read about it and then I saw it on my own Instagram account, and not gonna lie to you, I freaked out a little bit. And then I saw a whole bunch of my friends on various ends of the tech-savvy and Luddite spectrum, and a lot of them had a fairly negative reaction at first. What was your first reaction?
So my first reaction, just like many Canadians, is I actually turned on WhatsApp for myself, and I saw the prompts right at the top. Now, this is the area that I work in, so obviously the curiosity kicked in around how is this app actually, or this assistant actually going to work? What is the privacy policy? What type of images is going to generate? So I kind of went ahead and tested out. So I was more curious about its functionality, but we knew that this was coming. Meta had announced that they're going to be launching something like this. We just didn't know the exact date, and it just turned on for millions of users overnight, and the reactions have been mixed.
Tell me, the one thing that I keep on hearing from people who are so frustrated by this is that there seems to be no way to turn it off. Are we correct? I mean, if anyone would know how to turn it off, it would be you. What do you think?
So there are ways of ensuring that you don't use the functionality. So, for example, if you're using WhatsApp, you need to actually go into the actual chat, the AI chat, and then ask it questions. It's not like you and I could be chatting back and forth on WhatsApp, and all of a sudden the AI kicks in. And it's not that Meta will actually have access to your messages, but if you're using this AI chat, then the game is different. They do collect information, but before you use it, you actually have to agree to the terms of the privacy terms, and the fact that they are going to be collecting data on yourself.
But it seems to me like in Instagram and Facebook, if you're just looking for a friend, let's say putting in someone's name in a search field, it pops up immediately. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct, and that's been my experience as well. This is one of those things that I always get the question, well, can we turn this off? Should we turn this off? And I remind people that it's important to understand that Facebook or Meta is using these platforms and apps to collect data. Most of us don't pay for these platforms, and if you're not paying for the product, you are the product. And this is the new arms race. The new arms race is AI. They want to get their application out there. They want to train these language models. The more users that actually use it, the better it's going to be, because then they can take it and put it to different applications and actually monetize it. So we are guinea pigs, and you actually agree to this when you sign up for the platform.
Ritesh, but when I signed up for the platform, AI was not part of the game. It was 2009. I want to ask you, arguably, tech companies are also interested in giving people what they want and having a competitive product that way. If the anecdotal evidence is anything to go by, people are not happy about not having a choice on turning this off. One story I read about in Associated Press was that Meta AI infiltrated a Manhattan moms group, posed as a parent, identifying itself as Meta AI, talked about best schools to send gifted children to and so on, and then eventually was found out to be AI when one of the people asked the question, what in the Black Mirror is this? And it does sound like a Black Mirror episode, definitely. Tell me about that part of it. Is there not a concern that people are just going to leave these platforms, or are we so far gone that I guess nobody's really leaving?
I think we're so far gone. There's been issue after issue with big tech and social media platforms, and people are definitely still using it because there really is no other alternative. And unfortunately, this is kind of the world that we're living in. AI is the future, generative AI to be particular, and a lot of these platforms are going to be turning on these features because they want to collect the data, they want to make it better. This is where it's important that we have the appropriate legislation, that we have appropriate frameworks and safeguards that get in place, that you get an individual's explicit consent before actually turning on these features, that people know what they're consenting to. The laws just haven't caught up to technology, and this is unfortunately a byproduct of technology outpacing policies.
Ritesh, you and I spoke just a few weeks ago when this ban on TikTok in the U.S. was just kind of in a distant future. It's much more imminent now. You don't think that an outright ban is the right solution? What you want is more stringent legislation around, especially mining people's data, right?
Absolutely. I think we definitely need safeguards in place. We need to have the same playbook for all platforms. We can't be singling out particular platforms. We need to have rules around where Canadian data is housed, who has access to, the fact that you should be able to delete and revoke permission. You know exactly which third parties have access to it, and you can deny access. We definitely need better rules, rules around it. They need to be better communicated. It should not be just this blanket consent that, okay, here you go, because I've hit I agree, you can do whatever you want with my data. Data is definitely the oil of the future. It has monetary value, and we've seen situations where it could be used for good or it could be weaponized and used for evil.
Ritesh, I learned 3 things tonight. If you're not paying for the product, you are the product. It's a new arms race, and data is the oil of the future. Did I get that right?
You got all 3 right.
Thank you so much, Ritesh. Really appreciate that. That was Ritesh Kotak, a cybersecurity and technology analyst, joining us from Toronto.